Dubai in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're rolling.
Well, welcome to Dubai. It is such a pleasure having the chance to speak with you today. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Our pleasure. So you, of course, are here in Dubai with SACOOR Brothers. You are one of their biggest ambassadors, of course. And it's been really interesting to watch your relationship with the brand evolve over the years because, of course, SACOOR was originally established in, of course, your home city of Lisbon.
Exactly, in Lisbon.
Portugal.
And I've known them for 20 years. A common friend of SACOOR and myself came to me one day and said that the SACOOR brothers wanted to meet, they'd like me to represent their brand. And we met, and immediately we had a good time. And I did the first 4 catalogs, so it was a lot of fun. And from there on, we kept, I stopped doing the catalogs, but we kept the relationship, we became friends. And here and there we take, I'm with them in Los Angeles or in Portugal or in Madrid or whatever. So we've kept this relationship for now 20 years.
Wow.
So it's been fun. I think, as they say, I'm part of the family now.
I hope you get the staff discount then as well, the family discount as well. What is it that you like about the brand so much? What are some of the qualities? Because I think, when it comes to your fashion, you're certainly very classic. I think we love your suits on the red carpet. I know you've always said you're a big fan of the white shirt. It goes with everything.
Well, the suits are special, because the suits, they make the suits to my fitting. So those are very special suits. Mm-hmm. Actually, at the moment, I'm having 2 being made. Yeah. And thank God I don't have to wear that many suits other than on the red carpet. I normally say I put a tie when they pay me. And that's normally in the movies, then I put a tie. But I don't, what I like the most is because they have very great casual dressing. And I love their shirts, the quality of the shirts, because they have great cotton, they have great linen. And in general, I go there and I find everything from, either it's summer or it's winter. I find the casual and I find the more conservative. And today, their quality has been evolved. And over the years, incredibly, because I remember 20 years ago, they had certain parts of their fashion, either the wool sweaters or whatever, weren't as great. And they've always wanted to hear their ambassadors or their friends tell them, what do you think is not good? What do you think we should improve? And they're very open about it, and that's been our relationship. And you have seen them improve their quality over the years. So, and we were talking, yes, my kids, for example, my son loves to wear goes there all the time, loves their shirts. There's a big thing for especially for the new pants, the thin ones. But and my daughter, that's now 15, started, because now she's coming to an age, she's grown up, so she can wear the SACOOR stuff. For a long time, they didn't do young girls, so. Now she came to an age.
Started doing them now, actually. I have a 2-year-old.
But now she grew up. I didn't even know they started doing the. Well, I don't look at those anymore,
Exactly.
Maybe when the grandkids.
When you get the grandkids ready,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I don't know about you. For me, it always feels that European men just know how to dress more than I think so many other cultures.
Or maybe they're more.
Do you think it's the accent, or do you think it's the style, or the what are your top tips?
I don't know. Listen, it's like everything. When I lived in New York for 27 years, I dressed up to the tits, like they say all the time. I used to dress up all the time because it's New York. Then I moved to LA, and now I'm so much more casual because nobody. A great shirt is dressing up in LA. People don't wear jackets. People don't wear a lot of things. So if I go to New York, when I go to visit New York, I know I have to bring jackets because there's this thing, people dress a certain way. And I think Europeans, if you live in the big cities, Paris, London, whatever, even Lisbon, you feel like you have to dress up. Mm-hmm. It's more of a European thing. But I have to admit that since I live now for 14 years in LA, and I'm more worried about the casual look. A good casual look, a good casual chic, that's what they call it.
It's still well put together, isn't it, from the loafers to the polo as well. I have to admit, I have been stalking you a little bit on Instagram. I know you arrived here in Dubai on Friday. You've been seeing the sights and the sounds. I saw you were up the Burj Khalifa. Have you been to any of the SACOOR stores yet? And what's on your shopping list?
Yeah, I've been to the SACOOR at the mall here, right in front of the aquarium.
Yes, the Dubai Mall, yes.
The Dubai Mall. I've noticed that they have different collections here because I think you have summer and extreme summer. So therefore, I think you have two more collections here than you have in Portugal, because you have a summer collection, spring collection, I mean an autumn collection, whatever. But here, I feel that they have more of a collection. They have they have more stuff, because I think they have to have more collections, because it goes faster. The store is beautifully located, right in front of the aquarium. I'm amazed that I've never seen an aquarium. I've seen another aquarium at the big at the 7-star hotel, beautiful aquarium. But this at the mall is quite amazing, with sharks and everything. I mean, amazing. And I mean, their stores, I've always loved them. You know, it's easy to find the stuff, and I mean, I've 20 years dressing their stuff, so I know exactly where to go. I know exactly where to ask. I know where the things they have. I've noticed that now I have to, you know, because I only go to Portugal seasonally, depending. So when I get there in early summer, because one of the things I like the most is their linen shirts. And if you don't get them in the beginning, they disappear fast. So, you know, it's good. They're popular, people like them, and they disappear fast.
Okay, so linen shirts. I like you can enjoy your coffee as well. It seems like a tradition that happens back in Portugal as well. I want to change directions, talk a little bit about your work, because you are one of the Hollywood greats. You've had around 100 films and a career that spanned 3 decades. You've worked with the likes of Harrison Ford, Gene Hackman, Salma Hayek, Paul Walker, many more. Tell me about your current film. It looks like it would have been a film that was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, well, actually, you know, I arrived in Portugal last year for the summer, and my agent called me saying, listen, they're offering you this film to shoot in London. I said, with whom? He said, Samuel Jackson, Ryan Reynolds, and, oh God, what's his name? Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
And I said, Gary Oldman? Oh, wait a minute. Send me the script. And one of the things I thought, I had this great scene with Gary Oldman. I said, I want to do it. It doesn't matter. So it was great, because, you know, I'd go for a week, come back for a week, go another few days, come back, go a few days. So I had the greatest time. We had a very long scene in court. So we had to wait around a lot. And there was a little, you know, a room like this one for the actors to sit around. And Samuel Jackson and Gary Oldman, we had the greatest time. Two afternoons talking about, you know, all kinds of things, you know, because it's amazing, you know, Gary Oldman, because the kind of work he has done. But Samuel Jackson, it's the age of 70 now. The energy that he has on, I mean...
And he doesn't stop working. It's
he says he can't stop working because he gets very bored. And he says he can only take so much of Bel Air, where he lives in a beautiful house. But, hey, he's that kind of guy. He's always on the go. I think he does 3 movies a year. So he's always working, always working. And I admit, you know, well, I'm not as old as he is. I'm 10 years younger, so 60. But I admit that I enjoy now the times I have off, also to be with the family. But like now, I'm ready. I'm ready to go back to work, because, you know, it takes, you know, but this year I'm doing, you know, now the future is, a lot of the future for actors is the TV series, and I've done my TV series, Queen of the South. And so you work for like 5 months straight, so then you enjoy taking some time off. But, you know, after 2 months, I'm ready to. I have to go back. I have to go do something.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer the big Hollywood blockbusters, the independent films, or the silver
screen?
screen?
Well, the big blockbusters, everybody sees them everywhere in the world. So that's the one that people recognize you from. I love the independent films because I get to play the good guys in the independent films. I don't play bad guys in the independent films. But unfortunately, the independent films don't travel that much. Not so many people see them. now, TV series is the great thing. I mean, TV series, everybody's into TV series because you can watch them. You can watch the whole series in a row. You can watch 3-4 episodes, one after the other. So everybody's into TV series, and TV series is going to be the future. And there's so much more work now for actors because of the TV series. So, and hey, I've been recognized because of Queen of the South now so much because people keep calling Don Epifanio. No, Don Epifanio, please. So people, I never wanted to do television. I've done from 24 to other series, but I really enjoy doing this series, as a regular. It's been fun, and I know that's what's going to be the future there. And hopefully jumping from one film to a TV series and back and forth.
Why did you previously want to maybe steer away from television?
Because TV, I liked films. I always loved films because you get the script in advance. You get to work with the actors more before you start shooting, and then you shoot less each day. So it's a period, and after 3 months you're done with it. You're done with it. TV series is always depends, but we get the script a lot at the last moment. They change the script all the time. We get pages during the day before in the morning, and you have to kind of learn them on the run. So it's all a different thing, Once you get the character going, then it's easier. But in the beginning, when you're still trying to find how to define the character, and you get these scenes at the last minute, it all becomes a little too much. But hey, I got used to it, I enjoyed it, and I'm ready for another one.
Keeps you on your toes. How do you get into the mind of characters? You have played some epic bad guys over the years. How do you develop their mannerisms? How do you work on their characteristics?
Well, I've done a lot of bad guys because as a young actor, I worked in bars that were where a lot of mafia guys came, ate, and met a lot of them. Became friends with some of them, and they were the most unpredictable people. Some of them were really nice people. I mean, you never imagined that behind that great, generous-looking guy was a tough criminal. So you learn to do, and I always think what's fascinating about when you play bad guys is you have to think that they are human beings, and human beings have emotions, And so, therefore, you got to play them with emotions because that's what makes it touchy, because to think that, and that was the great secret of The Godfather, for example, is that they were a family. They had people with emotions, even if they killed the way they killed. But that was the great secret, is to show that they are human beings, not just to play a bad guy that's just a bad guy is not interesting, You have to find that give it different colors, make it interesting, and. I think I always try to do that with the bad guys I play, show the human side of them.
Mm-hmm. How do you think you've managed to stay relevant for so long? I mean, you speak 6 different languages, you travel all around the world. Why do you think you've been so successful?
Well, because as long as they give me a job, I'll be showing up on television. I don't know, but I've always jumped also from doing American films to French films to Italian films to Spanish films. I had a big period of my life. I was away from the United States, and I lost a lot of the grip of the American films. And then I had to come back to it. But I was enjoying doing my Spanish films and my French films. Now I've been back to the States doing a lot of the American and TV series and films. And here and there, like now I have 2 invitations to do French films, one in Brazil, one in Ukraine. So I think I'll be jumping again, to do some French. I did 3 years ago. I did a French film about a Portuguese family immigrated in France. That was a big success in France and a big success in Portugal. I keep jumping a little bit between the American films and the European films. Not so much in the Portuguese films because, the Portuguese cinema hasn't had that much money these days. And cinema without money is a little hard to do. Mm-hmm. But I hope to go back to that, to the Portuguese films too.
And finally, you've had an epic trip in Dubai this week. I know you leave tomorrow. What's been the highlight of the trip, and when are you coming back?
Well, I would have stayed a little longer had I known I arrived at 2 in the morning, and I'm leaving at 7 in the morning. So I didn't think about that, but you know it's great because you know the SACOOR brothers, they organized my trip, and I have seen everything there is to see in 3 days, 3 full days. I went to Abu Dhabi too. I saw the mosque there. Or if you
Yes, I
follow
saw you
my
by the Grand
Instagram,
Mosque, yeah.
I went to some great restaurants, some great hotels. I visited some great parts of the Dubai. The marina I loved a lot. I thought there was a great part. I really enjoyed that area there. And the one next to it by the beach, I can't remember the name, but it has 3 initials.
Yes.
No, but it really amazes me because I got the all grab of what the sheikh had, this vision that he had years ago, that obviously because the oil might not last forever, and that this country has to be something, be prepared for what comes after the oil boom. And you can see it, it's quite amazing. I mean, the islands, the construction, the attraction, and the attraction of Dubai. So I'm ready to come back, but maybe in the winter.
Well, if you come back in the winter, let us take you on a desert safari. You might have to dress down, though. I think we'll have to keep.
Well, it was programmed, the desert safari, but all of a sudden we didn't realize it was so far away. And I have to admit, I said, maybe next time, because we're doing so many things. I wanted to enjoy a little bit of I wanted to try the sea here. I was not so surprised, but a little surprised. It was so warm. I wanted to cool down, and I didn't cool down. I had to go to the pool. But but I'm sure. I mean, it's quite lovely, and the feeling is that it's a very international place. People from all over the world. You hear people speaking all different types of languages, and it's been great. People have been recognized. People, I've seen that they also know my work here, so it's been fun.
Oh, good. Well, next time, shopping trip and desert safari. Are we on?
Desert safari, we're on.
Deal.
We're definitely on.
Oh, it was very lovely to meet you. Thank you again very
Lovely
much
to
for your
meet you
time
too.
today. Thank
you.
you.